Hello, you hope you're all doing well. I just want to share a couple of thoughts. Many people in this world have given up on their faith and religion because of how they have experienced that community. Many of them have some negative, story to tell. Some experiences were not so good. But does it allow you to just give up on God? I was with a couple who were young and were in love and had, gotten married. And after a few years, they were thinking of starting a family. And they were not able to conceive, and they didn't have a child for some time. So in those days, they would often, go back to their families. And some of them were these religious people, and they would say, hey, you need to have more faith. You need to think about this. You need to pray more. And sometimes they were saying, hey, we are doing all these things, but somehow, God's timing, and we want to allow God's work to happen. They were saying this later, that they were kind of disturbed through the whole process of how the people who were representing God and who they thought knew God well were kind of coming on them as if they thought that's not how God works. I've been sharing from the Gospel of John chapter 9. There's a story about a man who was born blind, and Jesus' disciples asked Jesus, Rabbi or teacher, who sinned? They wanted to know whose sin caused this effect. And then Jesus says neither of them is, because God wants us to display His work. And then He heals this man. This man is healed, but the whole religious community is disturbed because Jesus healed on a Sabbath. That was unacceptable. They could not, believe that God could do something that would go against what their belief or their religion or their belief about God was. And they are asking this question to this man who was blind before, but now he was able to see, and who was, healed. And they are saying, this man who healed you is not from God because he did not keep the Sabbath. And they were so frustrated. They kind of argue with this man, but this man is trying to defend. He just wants to say is that I was blind, but now I see. I think this is from God. But they're saying, no, this is not from God. If this is from God, it should not have happened the way it happened. Think about this, friends. What I'm trying to say is this. Many times, our understanding of God can keep us or can prevent us from experience the work of God in our life, in our community. Something powerful had happened in that community. This religious community had witnessed the hand of God. Jesus had performed one of the greatest miracles of healing a man born blind, but the religious community came against that in such a power that they wanted to throw this man out of that community because the way God did His work against their, understanding. Does your understanding stop you from experiencing or allowing the work of God? I want to encourage you today. Be open, because God is not, confined in a box or the way we want Him to work. He is God, and He wants to display His work. Jesus came so that everyone who was far and wide, who had no access to God, can come and experience the salvation, can experience the power of God, which transforms a sinner. A man who was born blind, and he could see. The same way spiritually, we all are blind, we all are broken, we all are messed up. But Jesus comes so that we can see. May God bless you. May He encourage you with these words.